after love. Thursday, July 23rd. Welcome to the Breaking and Entering Advertising News Show. I'm Jack.
And I'm Gino.
How you feeling, Gino?
Feeling good. I'm unfiltered.
Yeah, we were joking. This will be unfiltered conversations with disruptive takes and bold decisions.
That's right.
Every panel you've ever been to in your life.
It's not like other advertising live shows. I promise you that.
The best thrice weekly advertising news live show. We're back, presented by Tatari. Shout out to Tatari for sponsoring the show. And shout out to Tracksuit, exclusive data partner. Gino.
What's up?
Ad Age Small Agency Awards are here. We're going to talk about it in a second. Additionally, on the show, we have Antoni Porowski back, breaking an Ant in the Ring. Antoni Porowski, star of Queer Eye in his new Nat Geo series.
People were saying, was it a one-off?
Not a one-off.
Last week he was on, but is it going to actually be recurring? And it is.
It is. Guess what? It is recurring. Then we have Louis Piereck. Louis Piereck is the global brand lead for Dove Men. New campaign dropped over the World Cup. We're going to talk about it, kind of assess how it went. And also, he's been at Unilever, which owns Dove, for the last 23 and a half years, working his way up. So crazy career.
I got a scoop on this guy, too. I heard he's award hungry. He wants to make great work, and that's the type of stuff we like to talk about. Yeah, I mean,
Dove,
show.
Of course, Dove, legendary brand for winning awards in the advertising game. And then John Doyle, Chief Strategy Officer at the newly-ish formed DonerColle partners. You have Donner, you have Colle McVoy. He comes from the Colle McVoy side. They expanded their remit, fun buzzword, remit, with Lazy Boy. And it's an agency that's got some momentum, as you noted in your LinkedIn newsletter.
I had a pretty good newsletter today.
Yeah, it was good. You fix your time.
I want to do that. That was a decision I made.
What are you doing?
It's like I'm unfiltered. I'm a little bit more comfortable.
Oh my God. And your suspenders is the whole point.
Oh, crap. I forgot my suspenders.
Can you grab my suspenders? Yeah. Thank you.
I'm lacking over here.
You know who's not lacking is Conscious Minds. Conscious Minds wins Small Agency of the Year. What a freaking transition. We're getting pretty good at this, huh?
Yep.
They do a lot of the social work, and the Conscious Minds, the agency based in the West Coast, gets the win. They take home the whole freaking shebang. Mainly, what everyone probably knows about that they worked on is this Starbucks, the limited edition Bear Cup.
The Barista.
The Barista. Really popped off. I'm a Starbucks fan myself, but they have a big account with Starbucks. I believe $17 million account with them. They tripled revenue in 2025, and they work with Nike as well. They helped launch a campaign with Caitlin Clark. Blake Heel, founder and CEO, attributes this growth to a newfound understanding from brands. Marketers are looking for a lead agency that sits in the social seat, that understands business, that understands culture, but also understands how to curate a brand point of view. Budgets are shifting. Brands are realizing they can't just do a World Cup thing or a Christmas thing. They got to be having at least 10 to 20 earned moments a year that are breaking through. And so that's what Conscious Minds has been able to do.
Congrats to them. That's a lot of moments. 10 to 20 earned moments a year.
That break through.
Yeah, so they got to break through too?
Who?
They got to break through as well?
What'd you call me?
You kind of look like the Barista.
What do you got on this? They win big. Last year's winner was Work in Progress, the Boulder agency, Gino.
Yeah.
And this year, Conscious Minds.
So you covered everything. You talked about Starbucks. You talked about Nike. With Nike specifically launching Caitlin Clark's, you covered that. I was getting my suspenders on.
They did the work with Yahoo as well. They helped Yahoo kind of create a little bit of a personality for the brand and bring it back. And it seems like a lot of their stuff is breaking through on social, Gino. It seems like they're like the social agency for a lot.
They're doing a good job. They, especially with the intern jacket, I think that was lined up for Starbucks. That was lined up with Devils Wears Prada's too.
Yes,
the jacket had about a dozen cup holders for Starbucks cups, like the intern jacket. That's what they called it. Also for Starbucks, they announced like the protein drinks.
Oh, yeah.
And I like this one. They had little Mo Mozzarella. You know who that influencer is? He's like, give me the money, no problems.
Okay.
You know, he's like,
sure.
Lil Mo.
Yeah.
Lil Mozz. And so I thought that was a fun one, too. That probably broke through one of their 10 to 20 breakthrough moments. 10 to 20.
It's like the bangers methodology with the team at Courage. It's the agency out of Canada that's been crushing it, too. It's just get bangers out there. Always On. This is the next iteration of Always On. Like, it's not enough anymore to just have a presence, a community management, and like posting, you have to break through with the posts. I
look
think
at
that's
this.
what we're seeing like is the next evolution of brands, because I think audiences are getting tired of, I kind of commented on this, but audiences are getting tired of this copy and paste era of social media trends. Like, you see it with, remember the two people that scaled the skyscraper, Empire State Building?
Of course.
And then every brand put their just logo on the flag.
Right.
People are like, we're tired of this. So you got to break through unique things, and one part of it is like creating things like the barista.
Yeah, and that was perfect. It was a perfect example, Jack. How many things can you get away with? How many brands can get away with hopping on the trend? Let's say the people that climbed the building, did the proposal there. Maybe like one will break through, one or two, would you say?
Yeah,
they're done
like,
well. There's like room for that early adopter, like overnight. But that can't be your whole strategy.
Well, that reminds me of like the Burger King with like McDonald's Big Arch. The only brand response I remember from the McDonald's Big Arch CEO Burger Eat was Burger King, because it was really fast. Like, I'll ask you, name one brand that did the trend for the Empire State Building.
I think Canva did one.
Okay.
I think that's the only one that kind of comes top of mind to me.
Because
I kind of scroll through them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's
I
my
scroll
thing
through
too. Is like I couldn't even name one because there's so many, and you get all the noise of it.
Another thing going on right now is the Jimothy.
Yeah,
We never
the
talked about
Jimothy.
on this. I don't know what it is. It's like a weird looking raccoon thing.
Yeah,
And like
Jimothy.
all these brands are hopping on it now. It's just like a Moodang. This is like it's the Moodang in 2026 here. This
But there
little
is
freaky little raccoon.
I think there's a little bit more backlash on brands hopping with Jimothy. They're like ruining it. It's like the shout out to that newsletter, Silence Brands. They
that's the name of the newsletter.
Yeah, it's great. You should follow it.
Okay.
Silence Brands. That's a plug.
Wow.
But
commenting like people no
yeah,
longer
like people
care.
like, get out of here, brand. Like you're ruining this. And I think there's more backlash to that, even from like Moodang. People, I think, enjoyed when brands were hopping in on Moodang.
They were enjoying it back
Yes,
then. So what
back then.
changed?
I think it's just people just get tired. They get fatigued. It's like you just get it's shoved down your throat. Every brand hops on. Who are some other winners from small agency that caught your eye, Gino?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think let me think about it. We saw Partyland. I think they got a gold over there. So congrats to them. Love their work. I saw Ripicki, the CMO, the CBO of Tailored Brands, which is Men's Warehouse, gave them some love. So you love seeing the client side giving some love to the agencies when they.
How about this for you, Gino?
Quiz me.
By company size, 76 to 150 employees, your gold and silver winners, the two winners in that amount size, Preacher and Bakery, both Austin-based agencies, Gino. Preacher takes gold, Bakery takes silver. So Austin showing up in a big way here at Age Small Agency Awards. Your thoughts on that? Two great agencies.
There's something in the water over there in Austin. I think it's a healthy environment for competition. It's bringing people. Creatives are more likely to move to Austin when you have more options of agencies. There's like 5 really good agencies, 5+ good agencies over there. So people are more likely to move, and it helps that it's Austin. But you never it's hard for some of these shops that are in an off town where there's only one agency, because you kind of have to depend on it so much. Like you get a job here, you're staying there for a while, you're moving your family there too. So that could be in the water.
The Austin market is like the perfect size, I think, because you have enough competition where, like, to your point, and it's a desirable city right now still, and it's growing. It's a growing city, and it's got a good culture, and like you can get talent to come there simply because they want to live in Austin too. So exciting for them. Last thing, Conscious Minds, your winner. They celebrated, of course. This is their founder and CEO. Can we play the music? I think you're gonna need the music to. This is how you celebrate, Gino. You win the Adage Small Agency of the Year.
I mean, look at this. These got some good moves here.
Yeah, Blake Hill, founder.
Feeling good.
Feeling good. So
We love to see
exciting.
it.
Congrats to all the winners. Small Agency, one of the better conferences that happens every year that people really enjoy and get a lot out of. Hear nothing but good things. We were able to attend last year. So congrats to all the winners from Small Agency. Let's get into the 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill, or is it Tatari time?
Oh, it's Tatari time. Gino, hit me.
It's Tatari time. Shout out to our presenting sponsor this whole month here. That's Tatari. If you're an agency, you've had this conversation. Your clients have maxed out on paid social and search, and they're asking what's next. For a lot of brands, the answer is TV. But whether your agency is new to TV or already buying CTV, building complete offering can mean adding more partners, more platforms, more reporting complexity. So Tatari gives agencies a simpler way in. Whether you want full service control or more hands hands-on partnership where Tatari's team runs point. You plan, buy, and measure linear TV, streaming, and online video in one platform without handing off all the client relationship or building a large specialized TV team, Jack.
Yeah, you keep the client relationship, create new revenue opportunities, and give clients another scalable channel when their existing media mix starts to plateau. And because Tatari buys directly from publishers, more of the budget goes towards media instead of unnecessary ad tech fees. Today, more than 400 plus brands and agencies trust Tatari to plan, buy, and measure TV. Take DAC, a full funnel media agency that used Tatari to bring linear and streaming together for its clients. They unlocked premium inventory that programmatic buying alone couldn't reach and saw double-digit growth in both customer accounts and revenue. So when a client asks, what should we do next? You have a stronger answer. Let's go to tatari.tv/growth to see how DAC, the full funnel media agency, did it.
Tatari time.
Let's go. 2-minute drill. Let's run it. First up, Gino, what do you got?
All right, first up here, Zevia has a great new campaign out here sent in my group chats, Jack. People are loving it with Cardi B. This was made by Dion here. And the whole thing was, they asked the question of, how do you show that Zevia uses real ingredients? Well, this is what they came up with here.
Yeah, let's
real
play
talk
it for a
interpreter.
little bit. Yeah.
Finding his footing academically.
You say your son is stupid.
Perhaps he needs a school with more structure.
She say your school is stupid.
Yeah, so that's kind of, you get the gist of it, but it's really, I thought it was funny. It got a couple chuckles out of me, Gino, which is a big deal. You know, I got a high sense of taste when it comes to comedy and advertising.
Yeah, we enjoyed it. Well, you have very good taste, Jack.
Thank you, Gino. So do you.
Thank you, sir. Dion made this, so this was a scenario of guidance counselor telling a parent that the child was not going to graduate or pass. And the other scenario was a potluck, an office potluck, where Cardi B is basically saying the food doesn't look good, we're judging the people there, the office potluck. So real scenarios.
Okay, so let's break it down. So you're keeping it real. So the idea, I get it. I think there's a very obvious line here, like Zevia. I don't even know that much about Zevia, but I'm assuming that they use real sugar.
No, so I think the whole thing about Zevia is it's like sugarless, but like the ingredients that replace the sugar are still real, because there's that perception of like the fake sugars, like whatever the artificial
flavoring.
It's literally called artificial. So they want to combat that with like they're real things.
Yeah. Okay. So I was close, but I still like the point is that I think you're finding an interesting and unique way to communicate a product feature, pretty much. You know, saying product feature about a drink is kind of funny. It reminds me of the Keurig Dr. Pepper guy that says beverage portfolio. But Dayan, the experiential agency, they just won Experiential Agency of the Year at Ad Age Small Agency. Jason Crayer and the crew over there, great stuff. Next up, you are going to love this, everyone.
Yes, I saw this. I'm like, how do I sign up? Like, this is going to be in the future planning of my career here. General Mills, nice feature here by Marketing Brew. We learned about General Mills' brand Archivist. It's a 160-year-old brand here, and they actually did this feature of Natasha Bruns, who's a senior corporate archivist, Jack.
Love that.
I can break it down some further.
Yeah, let's go.
Think about this. You're a 160-year-old brand. There's 10,000 records that they can go into to see their past advertising marketing collaterals, if you will. 5,000 feet of physical items, square feet of physical items, and ads dating back to the 1800s. Dewey Decimal System expert, if you ask me. She's got a master's in library sciences, going back and seeing what they've done to help the marketers today.
Okay, so you gotta ask yourself now, how are we leveraging this person as best we can? Like, are we going back? We got to get back to 1958. Do you think that she has like an encyclopedic knowledge? Or someone was like, 1958 summer catalog, what do you got?
Oh, absolutely.
And she's like, oh, Betty Crocker came out with.
Well,
so that General Mills, it's a dream job.
It's a dream job here. I mean,
what's a brand that you would want to do that for?
Great question. A beer brand of some sort, or maybe Guinness. We went to the Guinness Museum. The history of that. I mean, that thing. They have I believe it's a 10,000-year lease on the Guinness factory. It's crazy.
Okay, so key woman risk. Like, so she needs to have some sort of.
There's a team.
Understudy.
I think there's 3 of them.
And do you think you could? I think this is a great video idea for us, honestly. Like, we got to go to wherever this is. Is it like a physical library? Yeah, it's the massive. space.
So
So
in the General Mills mill. And also here, she's also thinking about what should we store for the future. So she's the one that's like, I don't know if this is really that good.
time capsule. Oh wow! Yeah, this does not meet our brand ethos from 1926.
Yeah.
Taco Bell's $1 lettuce-free enchilada. Taco Bell, I think I would say, is doing a great job of PR around the parasite in the lettuce. But what do you got here?
Yeah, so thought this was an interesting play here. Obviously, it's coming from the lettuce from Taylor Farms, so they said, you know what, let's get people back in here. Nothing like a little price promotion. Can't fix anything, especially in this economy. So they released a $1 enchilada. And if we want to Google what an enchilada is, I believe that would be a combination of an enchilada and a burrito.
Is that not what, like, isn't that already what an enchilada is? An enchilada is just like a burrito with the sauce.
That's a good, that's a good,
It's
an
like, to
enchilada, Jack.
me, I can't really like pick that up though. Like that's
You gotta
the whole
fork and
point.
knife it.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of the burrito though. It's kind of handheld. And then that's the whole point of an enchilada is that it's fork and knife. It's like
Yeah.
Taco Bell.
Listen,
Taco Bell is one of the,
Don't mess with the bell.
I think Taco Bell is one of the best brands right now alive.
Oh,
I don't know
right
I don't-
now.
Yeah.
You still? Okay.
Because I think whatever the keynote Taco Bell experience, what is that
Oh
called?
yeah. I don't know. When
What is the keynote
They
thing
do
that
a great job.
That stuff is
Live
so
Mas.
funny. Live Mas. I think the way that they name all the menu items is so funny. Enchilada, just a long list of great names.
Hey, guess what? No lettuce in this $1 enchilada there, so you don't have to worry about that. And it's it's usually $4.30 going for $1.
Interesting PR strategy though, Gino, because there's. Do you think they're learning from like the Chipotle E. coli thing?
I think yeah.
Yeah, like Chipotle E. coli, I felt like they kind of tried to stay silent and try to just let it pass. And Taco Bell is kind of facing all this head on.
Head on. Our next story here. Let's
do we
go
got?
into this next
know
2-minute
what
drill here.
Oh, there's a
only
tracksuit
3?
segment after this. Oh my goodness!
Hydration break!
Oh no!
It's a hydration break.
Oh great!
Okay, let's do
Yeah,
this.
whatever momentum you had, it's dead.
Yeah,
That's
So
right.
as we all know, hydration breaks took over the World Cup. People disliked them, I would say generally. So we here, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Quick hydration break. The tracksuit data that we have, shout out Tracksuit, exclusive data partner of the Breaking and Entering Show, talks about how Powerade became the exclusive partner for the hydration break. Maybe not the best move, Gino.
Ooh, this makes sense to me. I mean, think about everybody watching the World Cup. It's the biggest moment of all time. Every 4 years, it's a sports brand right here, Jack. Like Powerade's trying to combat Gatorade. Let's sponsor these new things, hydration breaks. Why would this be a bad idea?
Some of the data from our partners at Tracksuit, just 19% of people are aware of Powerade and say it's like no other. Or sorry, 19% of people aware of Powerade say that it's like no other. So bottom of all sports beverages and powders that the brands that Tracksuit tracks, they already have awareness but don't really have differentiation, it looks like. So for them to just kind of like show up is kind of not necessarily a good move. Another stat from Tracksuit, only 21% of those aware of Powerade say that Powerade really stands for something.
Okay, so lack of awareness, lack of like any hope for this association with this brand. It doesn't really mean much, right? Like, is that a fair paraphrase there? So then sponsoring this, why is it a bad idea then? So that people don't know about it, they're going to sponsor these hydration breaks, or they don't really know what it stands for, sponsor these hydration breaks. Still kind of makes sense to me to show up, but you brought up a good point that people freaking hate the hydration breaks.
Yeah, you just get a bad taste in your mouth. I think that Powerade doesn't have an awareness problem, is I think the point. I think it's a different thing if some upstart new competitor is trying to get awareness.
Yes.
Like you go big just to get your logo out there and all that. But I think my guess is that maybe Powerade underestimated the backlash or negative perception and sentiment that would come from these hydration breaks being tied to pretty much just like another reason for more ads.
Yeah. So this was hard for me, everybody.
Yeah.
I will be honest with you. It was hard for me to comprehend this because I love advertising. We were watching the games together and we are like all jacked up because we knew the people that made the ads. But dawn on me that most people don't like some of the breaks and some of the ads.
That's a lot of
that
self-awareness for you there.
it was hard for me to realize that.
I mean, I was gonna say we are probably the only media entity out there that is celebrating the hydration breaks.
For sure.
Amazing. I think there should be
big
more.
fan of Powerade now.
I think there should be more hydration breaks. Obviously.
We should have some more hydration breaks in our content.
That's what you just call every ad break. It's just a hydration break.
Absolutely.
You can't really get mad at us if we do. I'm just trying to stay hydrated.
That's right.
Like, what do you want me to do? Pass out?
We're working hard over here. I'm sweating. I'm sweating over here.
But it's interesting because like the vibe of people not necessarily being all in on the differentiation of Powerade here kind of matches up with what Tracksuit's given us, like this data. And another thing, like the data is like, it's always on. This is as recent as it gets in terms of really standing for something.
I'm curious because this was right before the World Cup, maybe a little bit, but I would love to see a post results of this.
Well, I think it's interesting. Gatorade, if you go back to the other chart, Gatorade, 33% of people say that Gatorade really stands for something. So it's like, I mean, that is, 21% for Powerade, 33% for Gatorade. That's not nothing in terms of a difference. What do you I think that it comes down to the advertising, I think, for me. Like,
what's at the top there?
That's Noon. Noon does not.
Noon is 12%. The highest is Clean Athlete with 42%, BioSteel with 40%.
Interesting.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to me. I don't even know what this brand is, but I bet you it stands for healthy athletes, clean athletes over there.
BioSteel, just the name alone kind of gives you the sense of what they stand for. Just being a freaking beast, just a mechanical beast.
What's it called? BioSteel?
BioSteel, wow. So that was a Tracksuit segment, hydration breakdown. So I think that probably concludes our World Cup coverage. Yeah, I would say we're ready to move on from the World Cup and on to the next thing, onto that next earned moment that's going to break through for each brand. Gino.
Well, World Cup's over. How about a little boxing then? Are we good for bringing in our next segment? Well, it's called, what is it? Breaking an Ant in the Ring. Boom, boom, boom. This is Antoni Porowski, ladies and gentlemen. He is a celebrity. He's joining us every single week. We're getting his insights on what he's liking in the brand world, also giving him his commentary on what we're seeing today. Let's bring him in, Antoni Porowski.
What's up, boys?
Here we go. Anthony, how you doing? What are you drinking? What is that?
I was going to ask you, are you drinking Powerade, sugar or sugar-free?
No, there's sugar.
Sugar in there.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
It was a whole thing.
Look at that. We did a whole thing. We did a whole thing. We were talking about with exclusive data partner of the show, Tracksuit, about how Powerade, they sponsored the hydration breaks for the World Cup. And you know how like the hydration breaks, people were like kind of not digging them because it's just like a way to get more ads. So we were talking about how Powerade kind of not a good moment for the brand to be associated with it.
Mm-hmm. I do like Powerade, but I'm like I like my Gatorade Zero though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's fair. I mean, for me, it's like it's 130 calories. It's kind of like calorically dense. It's like got a lot of sugar in there. What's up, Ellie?
Yeah, Ellie, how's it going?
Got something to say.
I have my headphones on. I legitimately will drink a Powerade zero sugar grape flavor. Like that's my go-to drink. I will drink that any day of the week. So just want to put that out there.
I love my sugar, but I rather put it towards like a beautiful pastry at La Cabra, you know?
Totally.
Shout out La Cabra. Let's get into it, Anthony. I think the first thing we want to talk about. So we talked about it, we posted about it today, but this partnership between Role Model, aka Tucker Pillsbury, and Salt and Stone. It's got 1 million views already in 24 hours. But essentially, Salt and Stone leaning into the persona.
What is this Salt and Stone?
Salt and Stone, it's personal care. And so for this particularly, they're trying to promote the deodorant. So they bring in Role Model to promote it. And there's a lot more that goes deeper. But Anthony, your thoughts on this partnership between Role Model and Salt and Stone?
Salt and Stone, big fan of the brand. Love their candles. I think they have like a Hinoki. I'm kind of a candle freak. What I thought was really interesting is that it was really, it made me think of what we discussed the first time we chatted on when we were in Cannes, of the idea of like they fully leaned into his persona. And the sleuthing and the researching that I did as a result of the excitement of the campaign, I got to learn more about him and sort of like the nuanced, like the conversations that happen in like all like the comment section and like the Reddit threads where it's like his fans like to joke around that he's like a smelly boy, that he doesn't shower. And it kind of wait, what was the tagline for it again? It was like
It's like they got you covered. What is it?
Reliable, so you don't have to be.
reliable, so you
reliable,
don't
so
have.
you don't have to be,
Yes.
which is like it's self-deprecating, which makes him like even more affable and likable than he already is. So it's like totally on brand with him. But then it heroes and champions the brand, which is like we're here to fix that problem, so you don't have to worry about it, which I thought was so clever. It was like the right amount of risk, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Because you don't. I guess if you're a deodorant brand, you don't want to necessarily be associated with like a slob all the way.
Totally.
But they did a good job of like he's not really like a slob in this. He just kind of like doesn't care. He just
Yeah.
is very, which is his persona.
And it felt very him, like looking at the visuals of it and what I know about him. Like apparently, I think they hired um, the same person who did all like the photography for his album cover, some of his tracks, and also the director for his music video. So for all of his existing brands, it brings that entire group of people into the world of Salt and Stone.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What's does he have a fan club name? Like
He has a fan club name.
Does he have like
He
like what
just
are his
has-
followers?
What's the
Followers
Swiftie
called?
version
Yeah,
of the
what's
role
Yeah,
models?
the role models. What
Yeah.
would be like the mentees? I mean, his crew of fans feels very, very close to him. I think he's done one of the best jobs of building his own personal brand and fandom. Like Anthony, for you as someone who sees that, like, what do you think it is about what he's been able to do that stands out to you in terms of building fandom?
I mean, I think that it's not like, look, he's an objectively handsome dude. He's like tatted out, wears his heart on his sleeve, pours his heart out in his music, but he still like kind of maintains an edge. Like I can't really compare him to another singer who's kind of doing like a different version of the exact same thing. I feel like he's doing a really good job at kind of being in his own lane and being very authentic. Like I feel like I understand who he is and knowing what I know about him, and we have a mutual friend, and it's like apparently he's really that guy in real life, which is really nice. And I think if you're especially for a musician, it's like he's like the guy next door that people kind of want to see. The way that Taylor Swift, for example, actually, you know what this brings up? A friend of mine brought up a theory that she has about celebrities in general that they can be either pedestrian or non-pedestrian. So, for example, Beyonce, she's non-pedestrian because everything about her is goddess-like, ethereal. There's something untouchable and she's like otherworldly, like she's bigger than all of us. Meanwhile, you look at Taylor Swift, and yes, she's this like mega global star, but every single person I speak to is like, you know what song was written about me on which album? On like Folklore? Like we see ourselves in her music. And I think with him, he's very much pedestrian where, yeah, he's like this growing global, music star, but he's still really approachable and people see themselves in him and they kind of like get it. And he lets people take the piss out of him and he actually encourages it and he's in on all the jokes. And so taking this whole narrative of the idea of like, oh, I'm a smelly boy, and then like doing a campaign with it is like the greatest idea ever.
It's
Like
so funny.
much smaller example, but when I started Queer Eye, the first two episodes to ever air, they edited it so that I used avocados in both recipes, even though they weren't shot in succession. So my identity became the avocado guy.
Yes.
And I fucking hated it at first. I was like, I'm so much more than that. My ego was hurt. But then I got a brand deal for Holy Guacamole and then for the Avocado Board of Mexico. And then I was like, oh, if you don't join in on it, then you're missing a massive opportunity. A, to make yourself a little more relatable and to let people know, like, I know what people are saying and I'm going to fully lean in.
Yeah, so that's what I think is so fascinating. Wow, pedestrian versus non-pedestrian.
I was going to
That's
ask a question for the group here then. Like with the way that people on social media and being able to connect with their favorite creators, celebrities, like is there going to be a shortage of these goddess like or these non-pedestrian like celebrities? I feel like there's going to be a shortage of that.
I guess like there's some people that just it almost kind of comes down to how willing you are to engage in social media almost. Because I think about like Bruno Mars to me is an example of someone who is non-pedestrian. Like to me I feel like Bruno Mars is like larger than life, this
Yeah.
like figure. But I guess that's a good point. Like especially like younger, I guess.
Yeah,
like people coming up.
Yeah, people coming up.
I don't know.
It'll probably be hard to be non-pedestrian.
I think even with sort of like the influencer world and content creator and that whole entire shift and the whole democratization with TikTok and all of that, I think just based on like human personality features and what we gravitate towards, we're always going to want like the person to idolize. Like in gay culture, you ask any gay guy, they have their like Mariah Carey, their Beyonce, their Cher, their Britney, their Madonna, like they have their person who's like their ethereal, larger than life person. So I think it's always that need is always going to be there.
Yeah, but it almost makes it harder to do like brand partnerships. Maybe if you're non-pedestrian, if you're someone who doesn't have like lanes to be in, like for you, Antoni, like being able to like do lean into the avocado stuff and be relatable leads to more effortless, obvious brand partnerships. For someone like Rihanna, it almost is. It feels a little bit more difficult and can sometimes probably feel a little bit more forced if they're doing like a brand deal.
Well, I think yes and no, because then when you look at Rihanna, I think wasn't it like one of the Kardashian or someone once tweeted like, "Hey, when are you gonna like come out with another song?" Because she hadn't put anything out in like years, and she just replied to that person and just said no. And it's just kind of like I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want because I'm Rihanna. If she did a campaign where it kind of leaned into the like
Yeah.
I'm Rihanna and I do whatever the hell I want, I think people would really grab onto that.
Yeah, we got the tweet pulled up right now.
This is an interesting
JR pulled it up. Beast. Kendall Jenner said, "If Rihanna doesn't perform Complicated tomorrow, I'm gonna be very upset." Hashtag fave song. And Rihanna said, "Well, don't come."
There you go. You know what I mean? Like holy shit. If she did something like that where it's sort of like she continues and goes with that like through line, I think that's like that works.
Yeah. So what's like the big, I guess the to bring it back, like the big takeaway here, if you're in brand marketing and you're working on a campaign, you want a celebrity to like lead the charge for the promotion. What can we take away from this from your perspective, Antoni?
I mean, I think there's exceptions to every rule because I'm sure there's like celebrity talent out there that's super fun to work with and really creative, and they have a good board of directors and a creative team. You kind of have to suss it out because I think just like all people, like sometimes they think that they know what's best, but they're not consulting with other people and they live in existence in this bubble where everyone just tells them yes and perpetuates whatever they want to do for better or worse. But at the same time, like if they have a really good creative team, like Role Model, for example, because they were heavily involved in it, then it works really successfully. I think it's definitely case by case, but overall, lean into the talent and like what they're about and do research on what their public perception is, how aware they are of their public perception, and whether they're comfortable leaning into it. Because if there's pushback, that's going to be awkward for people. People are going to be uncomfortable because it's going to feel inauthentic.
Yeah, and then it gets watered down, and
Exactly.
it's just as brutal.
I wonder, like, who on the team discovered that his audience, his fans, call him a smelly boy? Like, that's something that I wouldn't know about, but somebody had to study that or figure that out or been in those conversations and brought that to the table. I think that's so great that whoever did that.
Oh yeah, smart, very smart.
Yeah, that's great. Gino, do you want to do the CPG question?
Yeah, let's kick it off with the CPG question of the week here. Antoni, what is a CPG brand? Because we know you love CPG. What's a CPG brand you're loving lately?
Okay, I have two. One, I've been a diehard since day one. And it's funny, we're kind of continuing on the Kardashian note. I'm not familiar with sort of like that family and the show and like their dynamics and everything, but what I will say is, oh fuck, I'm forgetting her name, but the one who's really into interior design and architectural digest, and she has really good furniture taste, started a gummy company called Lemmy that I'm so obsessed with.
How do you spell it?
Lemmy, Lemme, and she does vitamin gummies. And they're blowing up all over the place. They're in like Target, they're in airports right now, but they always come up with incredible flavors. The packaging is so good. And I feel like I was a big fan of Ollie gummies for a really long time. But it never really went anywhere in terms of storytelling. But with Lemmy, they're kind of like really leaning in and they just keep on coming up with new SKUs every single week. And they're normalizing like creatine for women and like the research that's backed for like cognitive health and all that kind of stuff. And they have all these different flavors. They taste incredible, which is first and foremost the most important thing. Um, And yeah, massive fan of theirs. And the second one, because sleep is so important to me and I'm a big magnesium guy, it's a brand called Creatures of Habit with a K. It's the guy who started Meatball Shop in New York. I'm horrible with names and I'm the absolute worst, but he did these overnight oats and he has it's like a cocoa powder that's slightly salty. So you can have hot cocoa right before you go to bed and you will pass out and get
Interesting.
like a full 8 hours of sleep. It's an incredible product.
So the main thing is the overnight oats, but they came out with the hot cocoa.
Overnight oats are great, super
Yeah.
high in like fiber, protein, all that stuff. But it's whatever the hot chocolate nighttime magnesium thing is like. It's incredible. I fly with it all the time. It's always in my backpack.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed.
You're a big magnesium person. Is there? I imagine like I feel like I've gone through my journey of different supplements and different things to take. Have you landed on like some big ones for you that are important in the supplement world?
Creatine is a really big one. And then magnesium is very important. That typically for like recovery and like nighttime, and especially like I'm jet lagged half the year, and I don't know. I wake up and I don't know where the hell I am. And so magnesium like really helps me like land the plane at the end of the day and just kind of like settle.
Yeah.
Is that the 3 and 8? What type of magnesium should we get?
Wait, so there are like three different kinds, and I have like my physician taught me the difference between all of them, but I was taking Calm Powder, which I'm still a really big fan of, but he added me taking two other supplements that I don't know what they are right now. But Calm Powder is freaking delicious, and I mix that with my nighttime kin every night, and that's like my nighttime mocktail.
Oh, that's sick.
And then I take my magnesium after. I'm a big mocktail guy.
Do you track your sleep? Do you have like the Fitbit or a Whoop or any of those?
So I have 8 Sleep, which has absolutely changed my life. I recognize it's a pricey item, but it's basically, are you familiar with it? It's a mattress pad with like a computer on the side.
Oh, what?
Nice.
What does it tell
This is
you?
crazy.
It literally, okay, so my partner and I have very different body temperatures. We're just getting into it. TMI.
Yeah.
Let's extend the time today. And it basically, when I get into bed, it's nice and toasty because it has like a micro humidifier situation with a water tank. And so it's warm and toasty, and then it cools down as the night continues. And it can monitor your body temperature. And in the morning, it starts vibrating, and then it gets really warm and toasty, and then you get your results. I don't look at the results as much because then I'll obsess over it. And if I have a bad sleep score, it'll ruin my day. But the experience itself is like it's the greatest thing ever.
And I woke
Did
up
they make
today.
that
I
a
woke
twin
up
size bed? Because I could probably get the twin size bed option.
That'd
They
be
do
great.
twin, queen, king. I need to be an ambassador for them because I'm a massive fan. I've gotten so many friends converted to it, and they are deeply obsessed.
I mean, I just woke up this morning like just sweating in my bed, like my AC unit just blasting on me. It's
Okay.
I got to figure it out.
Can we talk about night sweats?
Yeah, what do you got?
So I thought that I was always overheating because I'm eating a lot of red meat right before I go to bed. But what I learned is I was actually too cold. So I've actually been sleeping with my socks on, and I don't get night sweats anymore.
Antoni. Oh God, I feel like that's a tough. You can't. You wear socks. You know? Did you see the Hanes campaign that came out yesterday? The Hanes.
gotta keep your
you
socks
did.
on.
Yeah. You keep the socks on. This is interesting. We can clip this. Send it to the Hanes team. I mean,
It regulates your body temperature. They're on to something.
it regulates. Okay, so like you wear the socks.
Yeah.
And because.
It keeps you warm and toasty because you can get cold at night. And then what I think, and again, I'm not a doctor, so I would definitely fact check this, but I think when you're cold, your body starts to overheat, so it starts producing energy, and then you end up sweating, and then you end up waking with like a pool of sweat, and you're like, did I pee? No, it's just sweat.
Yeah.
Love
yeah.
this. I think we have a minute here. Jack has a date coming up. Antoni, any advice for his date?
Is it a first date?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet?
It's a friend of a friend setup.
I love how uncomfortable you are about this already. Okay. Ask questions. Ask a question and then a follow-up question to show that you really care.
Okay.
And then this is like, it sounds trite, but just try to be yourself as much as you can. Because if you bullshit and if you try to be someone else or the person you think they want you to be, you're just going to end up having to like keep up with that. And that's going to be exhausting. And if they're not into like your vibe, you're saving yourself a lot of time.
Thank you.
what I mean?
I've considered the idea of just changing fundamentally everything about myself. and just
Or you could do that.
that's kind
Gotta
of
commit to it though.
But then I got to commit to it.
Yeah.
You have to commit to the bit. Yeah.
The
I have to
truth
commit
comes
to it.
out.
Well, but if I can just change what the truth is, if I can manipulate what the truth is, and just be that
Wait,
different person.
where are you
forever.
going on your first date?
I don't want people to show up to my date, but it's gonna be. It will
General
be
category.
the general. It's
Drinks.
it's
Like-
drinks. Yeah, it's a
Cocktail
wine,
bar, dive bar.
cocktail bar.
Is there food available?
West Village. There is food available.
Have food available. Cap yourself, please.
What do you mean?
On the amount of drinks.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm not going to be. No. I'll be fine. I'm not worried about that.
Oh, boy.
I'm not gonna. You think I just,
Anthony and I are gonna do a quick check-in.
Yeah.
We'll walk in
Huh?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want. If you
Oh,
want.
no, Gino and I are gonna wait in the bathroom, and then you're gonna come and then like be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like,
Yeah.
you're good.
Coach him
And
up.
we'll like adjust your tie, and then you'll go back out.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah, just come by and just say what's up. You're like, oh, Jack, good to see you again.
Jack, you look amazing. Wow.
That would mean the world to me. One day we will do that, but appreciate it. That's good advice. I'll take that to heart for sure.
Good luck. I'm excited to hear how it went next week.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
tune in next week to Breaking In and Ant in the Ring to hear about how this date went.
There we go.
Golden.
Anthony, thank you so much for joining the show. Always a
You
pleasure.
guys are the best.
Yep.
Appreciate
We'll
you.
see you next week.
Chat soon.
All right, that was Antoni Porowski. That's what you can come to expect on this show. And in the chat, on YouTube, Luke on Golf says, fantastic advice, actually.
That was good advice.
Fantastic. So you come for the ad news and you stay for the dating advice from celebrity of Queer Eye and Nat Geo, Antoni Porowski.
That's
No
right.
other advertising news show has that range.
It was fantastic. You got to be yourself because everybody else is taken, Jack.
Bingo.
Alrighty, this episode is brought to you by Tracksuit. Quick gut check here. Everybody in the chat, let me know, how confident do you feel walking into a pitch? Here's what everyone isn't telling you. The work gets better and easier when it's actually backed by data. Tracksuit tracks brand health continuously. I'm talking awareness. I'm talking consideration. I'm talking competitive position, brand perception, and it's updated every single month. No waiting for an annual dip, no cobbled together proxies, no pretending a 6-month-old deck still holds up. Just current data on tap for your whole team so you're pitching with receipts instead of a wish and a prayer. If you're in the business of strategy, that's kind of the whole freaking game. Tracksuit, up and running in 30 days. Check them out at gotracksuit.com.
Shout out Tracksuit, exclusive data partner of the show. Our next guest, Gino, is Louis Piereck. He's the global brand lead at Dove Men. So Dove Men, involved in the World Cup. They had their campaign going, showing, it's okay to cry for men at Dove Men Plus Care, doing also some creator work, some creator marketing stuff, getting the team at Edelman involved as well. So Louis also has been at Dove, at Unilever, for 26 and a half years, starting his career and moving all the way up to being the global brand lead for Dove Men. Dove, one of the more iconic advertising brands in the world, Gino.
That's the freaking best. Let's bring him in.
Louis, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Thank you. Super. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. I guess first question, you're coming out of the World Cup. It's a big moment for a lot of brands, but particularly, obviously, Dove and Dove Men. Let's talk about the strategy. Let's talk about how you plan on showing up and how you executed on it.
So for us, the World Cup was really a very special space for the brand because it's a place where care really, really matters. And Dove Men is all about care. But what was interesting for me was that this space was quite empty in the World Cup. You see a lot of performance brands, like, I don't need to mention, but a lot of that space is quite busy. But the world of care and displaying that what the expression of care for men was very interesting and that turned out to be an opportunity for Dove Men to join.
Interesting. So nobody was playing around in this space here, talking to men, talking about I guess the emotional health of men as well. And that's kind of like your whole thing here. Talk to me about the brand of Dove Men at this moment, maybe where we want to go to from here.
Sure. So since launch, we have always been a brand that championed care and modern masculinity. And we have always been doing work around this space. Mm-hmm. And I think right now we're realizing how men really, really care about so many things in their lives. And we are like the brand that can really champion this expression of care through stories, through engagement, through our influencer marketing. And it's really an exciting space for a brand like Dove Man to be.
Yeah, I want to ask about just like, Dove is such an iconic brand to work for. I mean, you've been involved with the brand for a bit. You're a veteran. And so I want to ask, like, what have you noticed from the brand? I imagine you guys keep such a close eye on like how people's feelings about masculinity change over the years. Is there anything that you've noticed just like tracking all of this for the brand?
Of course, when we launched the brand 17 years ago, guys caring for their skin was new. That was almost like taboo. So for us, we were like the first brand that came and say, look, yeah, caring for the skin, that's what guys do. But what changed a lot for today is that guys now, this is not a thing anymore. That they already care for the skin, so that no longer is something that is so new. But these expressions of care of men of today have evolved. Men are a lot more vulnerable today. They are more comfortable to talk about emotions, to talk about their feelings, to talk about the stuff they really, really care about. And for us, like the World Cup was quite an interesting space because, as you saw in our campaigns of portraits of care, this we realized this was an interesting space to show vulnerability in the World Cup. And that campaign that we just did was an interesting space for us to ask guys, why only in the World Cup we see those moments of more extreme vulnerability? And that's what we come up with this beautiful work with Edelman, really engaging like consumers, engaging with people on this question, on why only during the World Cup, and having a conversation about vulnerability and showing emotions.
Yeah.
Have you done anything like this? Like, I guess, this vulnerability play and acknowledging that and playing into that. Have you done anything like this in the past?
Not exactly to the same extent. I think in the past we had some work really cool around paternity and fatherhood. So for a few years we were a brand that really championed fatherhood and paternity leave. In fact, we were one of the brands that really drove legislation change, and we're very proud of that work. So yes, and it was very much about that vulnerability as a father. But we realizing this is much bigger than just fatherhood. I think vulnerability as a general space is something that is, I think, really, really important because it like humanizes guys. I think we're not one dimensional. And I feel like this World Cup showed that aspect of guys that is really cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
I feel like there's like on the internet, there's such a wide range or spectrum around like masculinity and what it means. It's like you got one side of the internet that's like these very like hyper masculine manosphere.
The toxic man.
Yeah, like toxic. Yeah, like weird toxic masculinity. But then that also means that there's a pendulum swing to the other side, which is like I think about like Tony P in DC, a creator of someone who is like championing this, modern masculinity almost.
What is that?
And
I don't know what that is.
he's just
What's
a little
he
bit.
doing?
He kind of is like rejecting that toxic masculinity. Like it's okay to have feelings. It's okay to show your personality. It's okay to like laugh at yourself, kind of thing, and not take things so seriously. So like Louis, does the brand also notice this and feel like that's kind of an interesting space to potentially play in?
Of course. And I think it's interesting because again, going back to the World Cup as a space, it's very interesting that I'm Brazilian. Growing up in Brazil, there's nothing more iconic masculine than football players, football fans.
Yeah.
And like in this world of football, that is like iconic masculinity, guys are vulnerable and they can cry. So for me, that's very interesting because when we show that, there's no debate, right? It's so natural. But definitely, I think being okay to have emotions with your feelings for me is what makes us humans, and cut across a lot of this stuff that you're talking about that is a little not so healthy, not so positive displays of masculinity.
Yeah, Louis, what do you? I was asking Gino before the show. Last time he's cried. Do you know the last time that you've cried? Not to get so personal.
Yes, I can tell you. I moved to the US in January. From Singapore. My family was there still for my kids to finish the school year, and I remember there was like one moment I was sort of really missing them deeply, and I watched like a emotional film, and I burst in tears, like missing my family. And I was like, oh, then I
Yeah.
called them and spoke to them. And, it feels good when you put it out, right? Like when you bottle everything inside, I don't know, that drives, not the best in us.
Oh,
But when
yeah.
you feel what you gotta feel, ah,
Yeah,
no?
I typically bottle it up.
Bottle it
Yeah,
up.
do you-
Bottle it up.
It's,
Yeah.
we gotta fix that.
I'm looking at these ads. I'm inspired
Right.
now to let it out. Speaking of these ads specifically, World Cup, new platform-ish. It seems like we're coming up with something here. Jack, on the side here,
Yeah.
I bet you there's going to be a new version of this, a bigger campaign coming soon. Louis, we're just talking on the side here, but
Any reaction?
Any reaction
Yeah.
to that?
Yes, yes. Watch out this space for sure. I think that we are about to enter a new phase with this brand. It's a very exciting moment for Doveman. So a lot to come over the next few months. I would be very happy to come back here and talk more when we have more stuff to share. I guarantee to you, this is a new era for this brand, and I'm so excited to be here, being part of this journey.
Yeah, we get scooped there by Gino. How about that, Louis? Do you like that? That was a little,
That's right.
little live scoop.
You gotta
by
let
Gino.
us. You gotta let us know ahead
Gotta
of time.
let us know.
You gotta if you're doing anything, we gotta
Yeah.
show up.
I want to ask about your career. You've been with the brand. You've been at Unilever 26 and a half years. Or is it 23?
23.
Excuse me.
23.
23.
That's how old we are. 23.
23 years, 6 months. Excuse me. Louis, what can we learn about such a long tenured career? Just learnings over being with the same company for that long.
Okay, that's suddenly I feel a little old, but I don't really feel old because there's so much change and there's always an opportunity for us to really rejuvenate and re-engage with consumers. I have been with Unilever all this time, but I joined like multiple Unilevers because I am from Brazil, but with Unilever changed countries several times. So from Brazil to China to the US, South Africa, Singapore, now I'm back here. And it's almost like a feeling that you're like joining different challenges. Unilever is an incredible place because it gives you so many opportunities to really stretch and learn and grow. But I think that throughout this period, I think my passion for marketing and crafting brands all increased, and Unilever is an amazing place for that. At the same time, I feel like we're in a very exciting moment for brands because being really good at sharpening, positioning, and understanding your consumers have never been this important. So all the stuff that makes, that is important for marketing only increased in importance in this era that we are in now, with social and AI and everything. So for me, really like learnings is like staying, close to culture, to your consumers, building a repertoire, learning, being humble, but also hungry. And one thing to make a difference, I have always been like hungry to make an impact, to move things forward, to leave, the brands I work with in a better shape than I got. So for me, it's a little bit of my learnings, being humble, being hungry, being close to culture, building a repertoire, and, working with teams, partnering with our agency guys, and, making a difference.
Which leads to my favorite question to ask somebody that's been in the on the brand side for so long, as long as you have. What has been, looking back at your career, what's the most memorable agency idea pitch you can recall?
Huh.
That's a good question.
Good question. So I think that the most exciting agency pitch was some work we did in Vaseline. I think a year and a half ago now. We were just coming out of having won first ever Grand Prix for Vaseline, like ever. 2 years ago, it was like, oh my God! Like people thought this was like a grandmother's brand, and we made it like super cool. We started getting traction in culture and recognition from the industry. And then we went back, sitting with our agency partners. This was Ogilvy Singapore, and we were like, okay, what's next? After this, we need to keep the fire. And we went back to really understand what was going on with the brand, and that's when we realized a lot of creators were connecting with our brands, creating content with us, creating these hacks. And that's why, what? This is the briefing. And then they came back, just very quickly with this idea of, let's verify the hacks. And that's like they came with this, and it was like, oh my God, we're totally doing it. And then the team went on and did the work. And for me, it was like one of those things that you almost feel it's so right that you ask yourself, why we haven't done it yet?
Yeah.
So it's almost like the idea was there. It was like forcing to come to life, and we just had to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
Vaseline verified.
classic.
I mean,
It's a legendary campaign.
It swept.
Yeah, interesting thing for you to hear that. It's like they came back quickly. It was like it was obvious almost. It's like, how have we not done this already? So good sign. That's probably a good idea. If
Was
it
the
feels that
original
others-
one like asking for like, because I know verified more so than what was the first kind of like, what'd you guys do to the public? Like, what'd you put out there? Like, show us your hacks. Was it like a call to action?
So the first thing we did was we search a ton of content out there of creators were using our products to do something with it. Maybe putting on a dog's paw, creating a fine fragrance, all that stuff. And then we said, look, let's look at this content. And first thing we'll do is which ones we agree with, which ones consumers should not do. The things that felt right, we check with R&D. Does it make sense? Does it work, etc.? And those that we shouldn't do, we say, okay, let's pick up a few that we should definitely not do. And then we engage with those guys, with those creators, to say, look, yes, it works. And we started with those creators to engage as a starting point after connecting with our R&D folks, etc., to really, connect what made sense.
Oh, that's great. Louis, thank you so much for joining the show, and congrats on the great work from Dove Men Plus Care and Dove Men, the brand. We're excited to see what's coming up in the future here, very near future. Gino scooped it. Louis, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Good to be here. Thank you.
Talk soon. Excellent. Nice scoop, Gino.
Thank you.
Way to scoop it.
Scoop, there it is.
Who? Shout out Mountain Agency.
Said there's going to be work coming in the future. I mean, like every brand's coming up with work in
Good
the
scoop.
future.
But it's a new thing, though.
It is.
It's a new thing. It feels
new.
like it's a little bit of a. They might go hard. They should work with Tony P. I'm telling you, Tony P. in DC. No free ads.
Get that out of here.
All right, last guest, Gino. What do you got?
All right, let me tee this next guest up here. John Doyle is the Chief Strategy Officer at DonerColle and Partners. DonerColle and Colle McVoy, I mean, Colle McVoy, that is what I was talking about in my article today, has just been on a heater since the past 6 months. They have a strategic alliance between Doner, which is the Detroit-based agency, and Colle McVoy, which is based over there in Minneapolis, and they're kind of like pitching together. Leadership's overseeing it together. I actually need to figure out more about how the leadership structure works, so we'll ask him about that. But in the past 6 months alone, DonerColle picked up a portion of Hershey's business with their salty snacks division. We covered that, Jack. They hired a CCO for that strategic alliance. They also just recently won their first airline client with Allegiant. And then what we're talking about today as well is Lazy Boy, taking over the full creative and social for Colle McVoy, specifically for Lazy Boy. So let's bring on the CSO of DonerColle and Partners. Let's bring him on here. That would be John Doyle.
How are you doing, Gino? Hi, Jack. Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So big win. The agency's been on a little bit of a heater. What's going on? What's in the water for the crew?
Boy, I think it's been one of those cases where it's been, Hemingway said, how do you go bankrupt? Slowly, slowly, and then all of a sudden, this is the inverse of that. We've been slowly sort of bringing to the world our thesis as to how brands are going to work in the future, and really just thinking about brand as more as the core operating system of companies today. Thinking about really divining what it is that makes a company special and putting it to work at the center of the company, which I think is just really aligning with what a lot of CMOs are needing right now in a business transformation mode. They need to control a boatload of channels in the marketing mix, but they also need to create and manage a boatload of other problems to solve across the rest of the enterprise. So we try to meet them where they are on that journey, whether they're just marketing the company as it is or helping to really inspire the company as it must be tomorrow. And I think that's been working for us. So it's been really, really exciting time.
It's fascinating too. This is one of those stories you've been working with Lazy Boy, I think since 2023, 2024-ish, so a couple years.
That's right. They came to us really sort of with a soul searching exercise where they were looking for a new identity. They were looking for brand transformation. This is almost 100-year-old company next year. And they were really looking to find a way to reinvigorate what they were, what they stood for, what they could do for another generation of lazy boy buyers. And it was a dream, one of those dream types of opportunities. Almost everybody knows what lazy boy is. It's in the vernacular of culture. It just wasn't standing for much in a meaningful way for tomorrow's consumers. We also had the other vectors of challenge of the oldest first-time home buyers ever. So we are seeing those later stages of moving and et cetera. So the furniture category was sort of facing some stiff headwinds after the boom of COVID when everyone was investing in their homes. So a lot of different forces were at play, and they were looking for some help of reinventing themselves, which led to the redesign of not just their identity, but really what was their operating system? Where were we going to go to market as a comfort first brand? Really moving away from trying to play the card that wasn't their strongest suit, which was being more aesthetically driven. That's the rest of the category. Let them do that. Let's own what we own, which was just an unnatural comfort. Have you sat in a lazy boy recently, gentlemen? Have you been in one?
We don't have room in our apartment. We have a kitchen.
All different. They come in all different sizes.
You can't.
That's a
John,
great
you can't.
brand.
John, we can't do a. Are you doing a sales pitch? Or are we
I
doing
would love to get one.
lazy boy sales pitch right now?
ABC, always be close.
Always.
You know what I was just thinking, it's in the same category of like Band-Aid. Hand me a Band-Aid. You say the brand name.
Sit in the lazy
When you
boy.
Google something, you're going to
Kleenex.
go, give me a
Yeah.
Kleenex. You're on a lazy, we want a lazy boy in here, you'll
Yeah.
say. But we mainly are talking about recliner, but we call it the frickin' lazy boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So that's both a blessing and a curse because they could get people buying what they thought were lazy boys, which we have to just kind of be on record, are unbelievably well made, incredibly comfortable. This is a lot of furniture brands wish to be comfortable in the way that Lazy Boy is every day. So we really just needed to make people understand there's a difference there. And I think it's by really expanding what their brand stood for beyond the functional. Really understanding that comfort in today's culture has a bigger role to play in our homes, in the way we think about resetting, the way we think about bringing some calm to our lives. We're kind of in this perma crisis. I don't know if you guys are feeling that. So having a brand that can stand for sanctuary and stand for something that feels really, really just, we would say we call it your place. The whole idea is around this idea of just celebrating this notion that you feel this sense of every time you think about, feel, and of course, luxuriate in a Lazy Boy piece of furniture, which is not just the recliner. It's an incredible array of different furniture pieces for your entire home. So it's an incredible mission, and they're growing in a category that's shrinking. So we're feeling we're onto a good thing.
Yeah,
The good stuff.
I want to switch gears a little bit. So Gino mentioned Colle McVoy wins their first airline account with Allegiant Air, and then says every agency wants an airline account.
I said that.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Gino said that.
Yeah.
But so John, is that true, and B, why is that true? If it's true.
It feels like was it fiction before fact with Mad Men and getting the airline was such a big coup in that series as you recall. I think though what it brings to the table is just a fascinating another example, just like Lazy Boy, of a category that's really beleaguered. We've got oil prices being what they are. We've got travel being such an expense today, and with two low-cost brands coming together in Allegiant and Sun Country, trying to offer a new definition of what smart is in this category. It's not just low cost. It has to be something different. So, and think about what it includes. So we're design, same exercise, really bringing the brand's idea to life across a multitude of different environments, from the jetway to the app to what it says on people's uniforms. So we're really thinking about all of the different pattern opportunities we can create. In both cases, for Lazy Boy, it's across their entire ecosystem. How does it feel, that sense of so that you're actually tapping in to the brand's value before you even buy the product. Same with Allegiant. So yeah, it's an exciting thing. It's a real puzzle, and we're really excited to tap into it.
I want to ask, because you talk about like from the jetway to the brand to the identity and all that, because I think that there now more than ever there can sometimes be a big disconnect between like the customer experience, like the end customer experience, and then like what the brand is saying that they stand for and believe in. How do you advise clients? How do you advise, like, especially Allegiant, where, airlines, it's very much customer experience is such a huge part of it. How do you bridge that gap and advise clients to match the customer experience to the brand?
Jack, I'm so happy. It's a hanging curveball. Thank you for asking that question because it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. I mean, Forrester's done the work on it. If you can match your promise with your payoff, you're going to grow at 3x over those who do not. And we like to simplify it. And the way we at DCP really think about our position in the geography of the country, but really the mindset of the modern consumer is, if the party does not match the invite, you're going to get penalized. So how do we make sure that the brand shows up in all of the other things that we can't describe as quote unquote marketing, but adds up to brand perception? I'm a massive fan of Walt Disney and his whole philosophy of everything speaks. Everything is going to tell you what the brand is about. So we're looking at those thousands of gestures that we can create and inform. And that's why we think brands really got to act as the operating system of the entire enterprise. If it's just in the marketing, if it's just a veneer, you're going to run the risk of having the party mismatch the invite. And it doesn't always have to be like a nice party. You know, sometimes you want those solo cups and carrot sticks and ranch dressing. It's just got to be congruent with what you're putting out there, what you're inviting, so people know how to show up.
Yeah,
and so that's a lot of what our whole promise is making sure everything connects, everything is driven from the brand at the center of the enterprise.
I think it's interesting you use the term operating system, like the brand operating system. So what does that actually look like in practice? Like, is there something in particular that you all are doing that just kind of solves for that, and explaining more what that means?
100%. First thing I think you got to really do with that is make sure that the brand concept is translatable to non-marketing functions. And we spend a lot of time working with our clients to understand. A lot of times what we're doing is building bridges between our marketing clients and facets of the enterprise that they don't see as part, that are not typically thought of as brand building elements, but are in the way that we were just describing, Jack, and making sure everything hums. We right now as consumers have the ability to understand your hiring practices, who your suppliers are, like how you treat your employees. All of those things now are available to us. Not that everybody's looking at that when they're making a purchase decision, but if you have some kind of chink in your armor, that can scale really, really, really quickly. So what we do in that space is really help our brand clients who are increasingly growing closer to the CEO, the CTO. That C-suite's becoming a really, really powerful force for the future of transformation. And we're working with them to understand, like, what are the problems we need to solve? Where does the brand need to be manifest across this experience? And how do we give you the ability to translate the brand idea into applications that we can't call marketing? That's one. Two, I think a lot of the things we do is we tend to try and launch the brand internally first. So Lazy Boy is a case example of that. I got to tell a quick story because my son killed me like 2 years ago. He's like, "Dad, what good do you do in the world when you go to work?" And I was like, "Oh my God."
Great question. That's a great question. This is one of the most profound people.
Too early for that, Ronan Doyle. But I was very happy about a year later after I was able to show him the video of the internal launch at Lazy Boy, where many people some knew, but many who have been with Lazy Boy for 20, 30 years. And one particular woman there had the quote that I was able to show my son and say, "I finally feel like we have a brand where I'm home." I'm like, that's what we do. That's what we do. So when we can do that and make you feel that the brand is as accessible to the manufacturers, the designers, the frontliner, everybody's got to feel it, because that means it's going to scale from the inside out.
That's fantastic. That's a wonderful story. A heartwarming story. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Amazing. A lot of success here. I think just high level, would love to see now, because we talked about it 6 months ago. I want to understand how this DonerColle Partners is operating today versus, like, how does Doner take on clients? How does Colle McVoy take on clients? Can you just speak high level and the best you can towards this?
Yeah. Well, for a little context for the viewers, those who might not be as familiar with Doner and Colle, we were really familiar with one another and had a lot of admiration for each other as two agencies within the Stagwell market holding group, and within the same general geography, Detroit for Doner, Minneapolis here for Colle McVoy, with a presence in Chicago for us both. And is there this idea? It's almost like was it Step Brothers? When there's like, are we best friends? Like, we should just really figure out how we can hang out together and complement each other. And I'll tell you, just natively, we have a really great Venn diagram. A lot of shared capabilities, philosophies, experience, categories, clients, and some really nice differentiators that have been a really nice kind of complement to pitches where we're either helping sort of behind the scenes or really partnering together. And that's a lot of flexibility. So I think what in this category where we're seeing so many megacorps, right? The big Omnicom mergers, and you're starting to see brands sort of stripped out of that. I think one of the things that's made this really special is we want to maintain and honor the unique cultures in both Colle McVoy and Doner and preserve that, because that's what makes people like going to work. It makes you feel like you're part of something. But then there's this opportunity to also be this third thing. I think the thing that's really driving both of us is the discomfort of being comfortable with what we are today. We know that this entire industry needs to change. We're here for that. And so we're taking this sort of pieces of what both brands offer, not just to create kind of a zero-sum merger, but to really contemplate what could be a new form of creative partner when so much of what we do today is under threat of automation, under threat of being commoditized, under threat of being in-house. So back to kind of our thesis of brand as the operating system of the modern enterprise. And I truly believe there are two types of company in the future: brand-powered enterprises and dead. When we can choose between different kinds of companies, and if you don't believe in it, as much as you want us as consumers to believe in it, and if it's not present in every aspect of what you're doing, you're one swipe up from somebody who does. That's especially right. With all the success in the founder brands that we're seeing today and all those kinds of things. So I think we're taking these incredible cultures, learning from one another, but it's in pursuit of becoming a net new idea. To your point about pitches, sometimes we pitch with just Doner and Doner alone, consulting with Colle, sometimes the opposite. But increasingly, and just recently, we're going into pitches as a combined team, and I think it's really easy for clients to get. I think they understand what it offers, and it's just been really natural. It's been a thrill. It's like getting a new job without having to get a new job. It's fantastic.
Very interesting. Interesting to hear that. Yeah, I think it's an interesting way to think about pitching too. Like if it makes sense for both of them to be in it, because there's something that each side can bring that can be valuable that the client's looking for, but also being able to still pitch as a sole company, I think is what is important. If that
a lot of options. It's like, having a lot of options for us, and also creating the right fit. It's not just who's got the right capabilities or client experience. It's down to individuals. And I think one of the things that we really like about being mid-sized, a little bigger now that we have two mid-sized coming together, is we don't just know each other as disciplines or archetypes. We know each other as people. We need to do more of that. We're getting to know each other even more all the time. But that's where you can get the real specialists. And you can get the data scientist who's really into healthcare, and that's the one we want to bring over, because it's not just a good fit by skill set, but by passion, and that's a real big opportunity for us.
Yeah, just opens up more talent, more different people. It always helps. Well, thank you, John, so much for joining the show.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Congrats on your continued success. It's fun seeing you in my stream all the time.
Of course. Well, appreciate you joining the screen, and congrats on the momentum and the big win with Lazy Boy.
Thanks for the time, guys. Enjoy. Have a good weekend.
All right, we'll see ya. John Doyle, Chief Strategy Officer. JD, some great lines in there. There's two types of companies, Gino, in the future: brand powered and dead. That's great. Great show. That was the show. We're back again, 11 a.m. Eastern time on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X on Tuesday. And shout out to Tatari, presenting sponsor of the Breaking and Entering Live show, advertising news. Gino, what's up? Let's get into the post show. If anyone's interested in our personal lives.
Post show. Ellie, what's going on with you?
I saw the ticker go by. One of the news stories is that Ellie has a sinus infection.
Ellie is not feeling well.
Ellie, how are you feeling?
I do have a sinus infection. It's confirmed.
Is it contagious?
No, it's an infection. Not a viral infection, a bacterial infection. So you cannot get it from me. It's been really hard. It's really hard to be as awesome as I am with, something holding you down, something getting you down.
I know. We hope.
Is that a double entendre? Are you talking about? Are we still talking about the sinus infection, or?
No, I'm. That's really it. That's all I got.
We hope you feel better.
JR, how did the show go?
Good.
That's right. That's
Nice.
my
He's a
guy.
man of few words.
Jared, he's trying to get to the weekend. Yeah, let's show the Ellie thing for those that missed
Really
it.
freaked me out.
There.
It looks just like me.
Oh wow, I didn't even see that.
Impressive. That was the intro to the Tracksuit segment, powered by Tracksuit. Data story, Powerade.
Yeah.
Hydration breaks. Gino, what do you got this weekend? Anything fun?
Well, everybody's leaving me. You and Mac are gone this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gone.
I got a party invite. Might go to the beach as well. But I got stuff going on. You know me. I still stay busy.
I'll be on Long Island.
Whoa.
I'll be on Long Island. Parents are in town. Gonna go to the beach. Gonna go to the Tim McGraw concert on Friday night. I'll post to the Instagram story, see if there's any good ads at the Tim McGraw concert. I'm going for the ads.
Yeah, of course.
Thoughts on this? Ad breaks during a concert.
Oh, look at this. The Miller Time tent is not as busy as the Liquid Death activation.
That's right. But what if Tim McGraw, like in between songs, is like, this next song is brought to you by Miller Lite.
Someone's got to be there to cover it.
Miller Lite, nothing better than ice cold Miller Lite, great tasting, less filling. Miller Lite.
I'm doing an ad read right now.
Well, I'm just saying that he should do. What if performers did ad reads during the show? I feel like people would love that.
Absolutely. You know what I like? I'm going to add it to my Masters of Marketing list. Mm-hmm. When you're at a sports game and there's like the Dunkin' donut race going on, and you got on a card that you got the cup of coffee, or they do the race.
Yeah,
that's the best. Everybody loves that.
Yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts, cuppy coffee, bagel and donut. Biggie bagel. I remember as a kid, like because they'd hand them out before, so you like whichever card you had was who you'd be rooting for, and I get like the coffee, and I'm like 10 years old.
You're like, I don't want that.
I'm like, this is kind of useless.
Little did your younger self know.
I would be obsessed. Shout out to Curtis. Curtis is in the chat right now. And he shouts, all right, a little shout out inception here. Shout out to Curtis, who said, shout out to the new yellow tape transitions. If you haven't noticed, should we hit it? Give us one, JR, if you can.
Hey, yeah.
Fire.
Thank you,
A little
Curtis.
guitar riff.
Things are changing.
But yeah, that's what I got. I think concerts should have more ad reads in them.
Right. And weddings.
Wedding ad read is great. This next speech.
I'm officiating Joseph's.
So you should toss in a 30-second Tatari ad read.
Tatari. Let's go.
If you stand up there, if you're just like,
I would like to raise a toast, just something slight.
Yeah,
a little toast.
Yeah, this is great. This is a classic. I am gonna do this for sure. This guy sold ads on his suit jacket for his wedding.
Wow.
Curtis wants another transition. Can we give him another yellow tape transition?
Yeah. Nice. Well, then, are we shifting the show schedule?
No, I think we have to change it. I mean, I think we have to keep it because of some commitments in the near future. More to come on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Commitments.
Contractual obligations.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's the show. Anything else from you, Gino? Anything else from production? Great work. I feel like the stream went well.
Is this the first week back from break?
Is it?
No,
second week back from
my
break. Dude, I thought it. Are you sure? Time flies. Well, thank you all so much for
joining. You guys are doing a
joining.
good job.
We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Good night.